Yes. What's up? It's John from Dowie Farm. There's my banner. Woo! Alright, we're over here at the microgreen spot. I'm doing a quick video in response to a question on my last video about why I don't use something to scrape the soil or something to level the soil off here. And here's part of my reason. So I'm going to get my soil and put it in here. A couple of scoops. I'm going to get too much on purpose so I can kind of give you an idea why. So the way I do it now is I spread this out by hand like I demonstrated in my last video. So the person that asked me said, why don't you use a yardstick to level off my soil? Well, the reason is this is I'm indoors here with tile floor and a rental unit where I can't get any water on the floor anywhere. So hold on, let me turn my dehumidifier off here so we have some less background noise. There we go. It's a little better, right? All right. So I'm in a unit where I can't get any water on the floor. Like what I used to plant at home, I used to do it on the deck or in the basement and I just spray water everywhere and who gives a shit, right? So here I have my hose and a bucket down here, my spirally hose coming off my thing here with my chlorine filter. And what I do is I fill the trays and then I spray them, you know? And I need a place for the water to go, you know? And what I do is I have these 4 foot by 4 foot Hydro Farm low tide flood tables, filling flood tables, and I just drilled a drain hole here. All right, we're very soily today, and these get plugged occasionally, but whatever. So I drilled a drain hole, and then as you see, I have a hose here that comes down into a 5-gallon bucket, and that's just where my water goes. And then what I do sometimes is I filter it through this thing. I got a pea tendril growing in that one. I filter it through these sieves, and I just dump it into my reservoirs and whatever, my reservoir over there. Sometimes I also just lose it down the drain. But anyway, that's why. So what would happen here is if I scrape this off, I would lose soil off the sides, and this would be a nightmare as far as the flood table goes if there was just soil everywhere. It's a good question. I had it in my initial plans. I was like, oh, it'll be great. I could, once we get to the new place, I'll you know, I was like actually thinking about if you've ever seen a pizza building station in a restaurant where you have, let me flip this around. Hey, what's up? I should probably grab my thing, my tripod, but I'm not gonna. If you've ever seen a pizza building station in a restaurant, you could scrape the cheese off into like a little, like stainless steel reservoir almost right underneath where you would have it. There's a grate on it. I was like, oh, that'd be fantastic for planting. And it's just not going to work out because, I mean, that would be great. I could scrape it off, then I could spray them, but it's just not worth it. You get real fast and proficient at doing it the way I do it anyway when you just kind of shake them out. What I really do a lot is I shake them when it's on the base level. I do this, and that kind of compacts it down. That's part of the reason I don't need to tamp. And then I just spread it to the corners, spread it straight across, back to these corners. If I have extra, I pull it out, throw it back in my container, and I'm good to go. Anyway, that's how we do it, and that's why we don't just scrape it off, because it would just turn into a mess. And frankly, it would add a step to the process that I don't need to add. But anyway, that's our setup. Just real quick, I have my hose bib run over here, all right, from my main plumbing that I set up over there. I got to run down here. I should have ran this a little farther, but it is what it is. I have my sprayer, my cheap sprayer that I got in a flex hose, those expanding hoses. It actually works well. You can, whatever works for you. It's a preferential thing. I have my buckets. I have just a quick, you know, 3/4 inch hose going from a 3/4 inch fitting that screws in. You drill a hole with a hole saw, and it goes through. It's 4 foot by 4 foot Hydro Farm tables. I think they're $50 a piece. I'm sorry, Aqua. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. A 4 foot by 4 foot table. What I can get in this is generally 3 stacks. Or I'm sorry, 3 flat high stacks, and I can get 16 of them. So I get 48 when I plant, and then I can usually go an extra layer if I really want to. But anyway, it drains down into there. I used to have these run together, but then that didn't make any sense. So I gave them their own drain. And if you learn how to not overspray, you only dump these buckets like every couple of weeks. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for the questions. Oh,